Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Morire Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Buhari calls for strictest punishment for ritual killers, attacks on police. Obasanjo orders build second Niger bridge for 16 years with mouth, Femi additional. Courts to address disruptions caused by Kano's trial, Chief Judge. Surrender before we get to you, new Castina CP tells bandits. Our security agents extort food transporters at illegal checkpoints. Ogun housewife bathes starving husband with hot water, flees, victim dies. 17 persons then burned to death as tanker catches fire in Ogun. Police arraign 4 suspected land grabbers in Lagos. And to foreign story, Nigeria, 5 other African countries to begin production of COVID vaccines, WHO. And sports, ex-Eagles decry plight of Atlanta 96-year-old turned bus driver. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has called for the strictest punishment to be meted on ritual killers and those responsible for attacks on police officers and various stations across the country. The latest incident of ritual killings and deadly attacks against on-duty policemen and ethnic minorities in Enugu, Imo, Abia, Zamfara, and Ogun states has caused some level of unease across the country. The president denounced the nefarious activity, saying, "I condemn these dastardly acts of violence and pray for the souls of the departed," said the president, adding that the courts of the land must apply the strictest of punishment under our laws to perpetrators of these horrific times. In a statement by Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu said incidents of ritual killings, hate crimes, and killing of law enforcement officers are aberrations. Expressing the sympathy of the nation to families of all the victims, President Buhari urged law enforcement agencies, state government, local authorities, community, and religious leaders to take all lawful actions to prevent further incidents of this nature and to put in place measures against the normalization of these primitive acts, hate crimes, and acts of terror. President Buhari said that killings in the name of rituals, political agitation, and tribal hatred are not in keeping with the tenets of our religions and of the civilized and enlightened cultures we are all aiming to be, adding that no person has the right to take the law in his or own hands. Furthermore, the president re-emphasized the need for all Nigerians to be their brother's keeper and should see an attack, be it verbal or physical, on anyone as an attack on the very essence that keeps us as a nation. Meanwhile, President Buhari has commended the government of Abia State for its actions it has so far taken on the incident a few days ago against traders at the new cattle market in Okwa, local government area of the state, and appealed for calm. He also expressed his sympathies to the families of those killed and suffered the loss of property following the attacks. To the next story, Femi Adesina, the special advisor to the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, has said former President Olusegun Obasanjo and his successors elected under the People's Democratic Party platform built the second Niger bridge with mouth for 16 years. Adesina, who made a claim in an article titled "In Daboski, If Only for Second Niger Bridge, This Country Won't Ever Forget Buhari," and shared on his official Facebook page on Thursday, noted that the successive PDP government only paid lip service to the project. The presidential spokesman noted that despite the trauma and travails users of the River Niger Bridge passes through, the administration before that of his principal, the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, used words of mouth to sway the people for votes when it's election time. According to him, when politicians want the vote of Southeasterners as elections approach, they go and offload shovels, pickaxes, wheelbarrows, cutlasses, and others at the site, as if that is what it required to build a bridge of that magnitude. There is a long history to the building of a second bridge over the River Niger, and it had over the years become a tool of false promises, lies, and propaganda. These are the stories coming from the spokesman of the president. Later, Azikiwe disappeared from Jonathan's name, and the second Niger bridge disappeared with it. All that happened in about 6 years that the administration lasted was a Federal Executive Council approval for final planning and design of the bridge, all motion, no movement. And to the next story, as regards the indigenous people of Biafra Leadman, Kano, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John So has assured that the court's management would work out ways to end the disruption in court activities witnessed any day the trial of the self-acclaimed leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra IPOB in Kano comes up. Justice Soho said the court's management was aware of the challenge and its effect on court staff and other court users and was considering options to be adopted to ameliorate the discomfort experience whenever the case comes up. The Chief Judge gave the assurance on Thursday while receiving some members of the Abuja branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, led by Moses Ebute San, who was in his office. The visiting lawyers had spoken about what they called the discomfort lawyers experience any day the Kano case is being heard. They noted that lawyers in most instances are prevented by security operatives from accessing the court premises, even though they have cases to attend to in other courtrooms within the court complex. And moving forward, the newly deployed Katsina State Police Commissioner, CP Idrisu Dauda Daban, has advised terrorists operating in the state to repent from their devilish activities and surrender before the police get to them. The newly posted Katsina Police Commissioner commended the effort of his predecessor, AIG Senusi Buba, saying, "I am here to continue from where my predecessor, AIG Senusi Buba, who has done very well, stopped." CP Daban made the remark when he reported for duty at the state command. Daban said, "We are all well aware of the main problem facing this command, which is mainly banditry. The banditry situation is very unfortunate, but we will try our best, and with the help of God, we will move forward. We know the terrain and are aware of all that has been happening, and we will do all things necessary to see how we can reduce to the nearest minimum act of criminalities in the state, especially as it relates to banditry." CP Daban reiterated the need for cooperation and support from citizens in the state to overcome the menace of banditry and other crimes in the state. The new Commissioner of Police, CP Idrisu Dauda Daban, was appointed into the Nigeria Police Force as a Cadet Assistant Superintendent of Police in 1990. Another insecurity, and despite the security challenges, we still have some disruption concerning bribe. Disrupt food produce distribution robbed Benue of hundreds of millions of naira revenue. Food sellers Sean Benue seek alternative market for produce. Revenue Board Chairman accuses police soldiers of collusion for checkpoint exploration. Traditional rulers weigh in, go after fake tax collectors. There is hue and cry around Benue State at the movement over the activities of criminal gangs who have taken over various highways in the state, extorting traders, truck drivers, including businessmen and women, who patronize the huge farm produce market spread across the country. The gangs, who usually pose as genuine tax collectors, working for the Benue State Internal Revenue Service (BIRS), forcefully block the numerous highways crisscrossing the food-producing state and impose various sums of money as conditions for traders, food buyers, truck drivers, and other businessmen who evacuate various food produce from the state to other parts of the country for sales and consumption. The illegality being perpetrated by the hoodlums appears to be succeeding and gaining notoriety and momentum due to the subtle support it enjoys from soldiers and policemen who man the many checkpoints on the route, leading to farmlands and food markets in Benue State, famously known as the food basket of Nigeria due to the large quantity and variety of food it produces. As a result of the incessant harassment and extortion by the illegal tax collectors and security agents, it is reported that the huge cash that should accrue to the state has been diverted by the hoodlums and being shared with unidentified security agents who provide cover for the fraudulent element posing as tax agent for BIRS. Back to Ogun State from Middlebelt. A woman, Ramata Soliu, has allegedly killed her husband, Bello, at a Fulani settlement at Iyano Ilewo in the Abeokuta North local government area of Ogun State. The mother of two was reported to have poured hot water on her husband, which led to his death. Correspondent gathered that the suspects fled the community after the incident. Punch Metro learned that Bello had last Friday invited some relative to talk to his wife, whom he accused of stabbing him and an Arabic student living with them. The woman allegedly woke up on Saturday, boiled water, and bathed her husband with the hot liquid. A brother of the deceased Usman said, "My brother had been complaining about Ramata. She had a habit of stabbing him and the Arabic student living with them. Sometimes she would not cook for my brother. For peace to reign, my brother invited us to talk to his wife. People waited in on Friday, talked to her, but she didn't say anything in response. Very early on Saturday morning, she woke up and started boiling water. People thought she wanted to make amala or pap. The water was on fire for about 1 hour. All of a sudden, we heard a loud noise from her husband's quarters where he was sleeping. We rushed down to see what was happening and discovered that the woman had bathed our brother with the water she boiled. His body was already peeling. We rushed him to a hospital at Ronda in Abeokuta, but he was rejected. We took him somewhere else, but he eventually died on Tuesday evening." Another family member of the victim, Aliu, disclosed that Bello, who was buried on Wednesday according to Islamic rite. The Ogun State Police Public Relations Officer, Abimbola Oyeyemi, said he heard about the incident on the radio station, adding that he was not sure the case was reported to a police station. He, however, noted that the police would investigate the matter without delay. Another tragic event rocked Ogun State. No fewer than 17 persons were burned to death on Friday as a tanker caught fire on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State. The Federal Road Safety Corps confirmed that the accident happened around 5 a.m. on Friday before Ishara Bridge. The spokesperson of the FRC in Ogun, Florence Okwe, explained that 14 of the bodies were burnt beyond recognition, adding that the FRC operatives were able to identify one man, one woman, and a girl. She said the total number of people involved is not ascertained, but a total of 17 bodies killed have been identified. One male, one female, and one female child only have been identified, while others were burnt beyond recognition. Explaining what led to the incident, Okwe said the tanker had a head-on collision with a Mazda bus marked ZT728KLD. She said the suspected causes of the fatal crash were route violation and dangerous driving, which resulted to head-on collision and fire outbreak. Meanwhile, the Ogun FRC Sector Commander, Ahmed Umar, has described the crash as an avoidable one, urging caution and obedience to traffic rules and regulations. Umar commiserated with the families of the victims and joining them to contact the FRC office in Ogeri for more information about the crash. Still on police and insecurity with land grabber situation in Lagos, 4 men have been arraigned before an Igoshere Magistrate Court, Lagos State, for offences bordering on forced entry, contempt of court, and action likely to cause a breach of public peace. The defendant, Johnson Matthew, 40, Taiwo Tijani, 46, Bolaji Makinde, 47, and Aziz Sani, 34, were arraigned separately over a landed property reportedly owned by the Oyetubo Oyemade royal family in Shogotedo, Lekki, in the Etiosa local government area of Lagos State. Punch Metro had reported that some hoodlums invaded the property with weapons and destroyed structures. As residents and developers and the estate petitioned the Inspector General of Police over the matter. Matthew Tijani and Makinde were subsequently arrested and arraigned on Tuesday on 3 counts. The charges read in part that Hugh Johnson, Adebayo Matthew, Taiwo Tijani, Bolaji Makinde, and others now at large sometime between December 23, 2021 and February 14, 2022, in the Lagos Magisterial District did conspire among yourselves to commit felony, to wit, damage, contempt of court, and conduct likely to cause a breach of peace, thereby committing an offense punishable under Section 411 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos State of Nigeria 2015. The defendant pleaded not guilty to the charges, however. From national story, we go straight to a foreign scene. Nigeria and 5 other African countries have been chosen to begin production of COVID-19 vaccines, with the continent having had limited access to jabs. Today, I'm delighted to announce the first 6 African countries that will receive technology from the hub to produce their own mRNA vaccines: Egypt, Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, South Africa, and Tunisia. Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, announced on Friday. According to the WHO, they were selected as the first recipient of technology from the organization's global mRNA vaccine hub in a push to ensure the African continent can make its own jabs to fight COVID and other diseases. We expect clinical trials to start in the fourth quarter of the year, with approval expected in 2024. We expect the benefit of this initiative will expand and extend far beyond #COVID-19 by creating a platform for vaccines against other diseases, including malaria and tuberculosis. According to the WHO boss, no other event like the COVID-19 pandemic has shown that reliance on a few companies to supply global public goods is limiting and dangerous. He therefore stressed that the best way to address health emergencies and reach universal health coverage is to significantly increase the capacity of all regions to manufacture the health products they need. Tedros has continually called for equitable access to vaccines in order to beat the pandemic and rails against the way wealthy nations have hogged doses, leaving Africa lagging behind other continents in the global vaccination effort. And lastly, the sports story. Ex-Nigerian footballers have expressed sadness after the length that Atlanta 1996 gold medalist Kingsley Obiekwu has turned to a commercial driver in Enugu. The retired footballers also called on the Nigerian Football Federation and the government to support footballers, especially those who represented the country when they are retired. A Facebook user known simply as Okomora posted on his page that he saw the former defender loading and driving a commercial Toyota Sienna minivan at Agbapa Motor Park in Enugu. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa on Wednesday donated 2 million naira to Obiekwu after he saw the post on social media. The 47-year-old made 8 appearances for the Eagles between 1996 and 1999, as well as stints at Go Ahead Eagles, Al Ali Shabab, Al Masri, and Enugu Rangers at club level. He also had a shot of coaching, but was forced to resort to commercial transportation after being owed 6 million naira cumulatively at the clubs he managed. Yes, I am a commercial transporter. There is nothing to hide about it. Man has to do what is legal to pay his family bills, Obiekwu told the news agency of Nigeria. I have 4 children at Enugu State University of Technology, and my last child is in primary 5. I have coached Rangers Ifeanyi Uba, Delta Force, Giant Driller, and also Union Sportive Craig in the Republic of Benin. All of them owe me. Reacting to the report, Obieku's Atlanta 96 teammate Joseph Dosu said his colleague in such a situation was disheartening. It's very disappointing to hear about my former teammates in such a situation. I thank God it's not a health-related issue. I'm certain help will come. Dosu, Nigeria's first-choice goalkeeper at the Olympics, told The Punch. The ex-Eagles defender Godwin Opara also lamented Obieku's plight. That was the world news from BGI TV. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once again. Buhari calls for strictest punishment for ritual killers, attacks on police. Obasanjo orders build second Niger bridge for 16 years with Mao, Femi Adesina. Court to address disruption caused by Kano's trial, Chief George. We also brought to you, surrender before we get to you, new Katsina CP tells bandits. Our security agents extort food transporters at illegal checkpoints. Ogun, housewife bathes starving husband with hot water, flees, victim dies. 17 persons burned to death as tanker catches fire in Ogun. Police arraigned 4 suspected land grabbers in Lagos and from the foreign scene. Nigeria, 5 other African countries to begin production of COVID vaccines, WHO. And lastly, sport. Ex-Eagles, the quiet plight of Atlanta 96 hero turned bus driver. For more update of our broadcast from YouTube channel, the handle is Bagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates of our broadcast. On Facebook, you need to like and follow the page, which is Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. And on Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement strictly, production and coverage of events and function, the phone number streaming on your screen is the number to dial. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, Just into BGI TV. BGI TV. You're one in a million.